Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Imaginary Boys. I am one of the two hosts, Mr. Habanero, and I have a secondary host who is all about those sweet, sweet hot ladies. Fictional or real, you know, he's all about them, Mr. Lettuce. How are you doing, Mr. Lettuce?
Yeah, no, as you said, I am all about the ladies. Most of them being fictional. There's a couple. There's a couple of real ladies up in this piece that I have a thing for.
Yeah, I'd fictional girl. You know, it's fine. It's just like yeah, it's fine. You know, I get the fictional ladies. It's all good, dude. Let me tell you, Mr. Lettuce, I am a pro at landing those super hot, fine fictional bitches. I'm so good at it. Like, are you imaginary and not real and possibly written down and or animated? Bitch, I got you.
Well, I would have you know that I am not necessarily an amateur with them fictional ladies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably also not as much of an expert as you are. I'll let you be. I will let you be the you know the residential expert at the fictional ladies, and I will be the residential fictional expert at drinking of the alcohol.
Okay. Are you drinking right now, by the way?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was gonna say because go ahead.
I have my kid this weekend, so it's sober time.
Gotcha. I'm drinking right now. I just kind of assumed, you know, and I was like, I've kind of like been like, you know what? Sure, you know, I don't know. Is that bad?
No. Like safe assumption. Because I have on several occasions reminded you that, you know, I don't wait for special occasions for which to enjoy the discourse with you while having consumed alcohol.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I've kind of, like, realized that this bottle of vanilla vodka that I have is so delicious in my coffee. So, like, the last few episodes we've been doing, I've basically just been spiking my coffee with, like, 2 shots of vodka. It's very enjoyable. So I've been doing that pretty much the last few episodes since, like, almost the first time we did it.
Vodka and coffee sounds like it would be weird.
It's really good. I think it's specifically because it's the vanilla vodka. Because, like, no joke, like, I actually have had just shots of the vanilla vodka a couple of times. It's like drinking liquid candy. Like, there's a very tiny burn to it, but it's straight up like I feel like I'm drinking, like, vanilla syrup. Like,
I have the that peach crown, some of that peach crown still. That is like drinking peach rings.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing that. So I went ahead and spiked my coffee before this session, and slowly making my way through it. And
what brand is it? Is that Smirnoff or?
It is Smirnoff. I just now saw the bottle. It's up in my secret liquor space in my kitchen. So yeah, it's Smirnoff vanilla vodka.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And but yeah, fictional ladies, man. Like, I get them all apparently, and I'm super pro at it. Like, it's as easy as just flipping on the television, you know. Like, so pro at it, so pro.
Well, I mean, I would hope fictional ladies were as easy as flicking on the television.
What's that supposed to mean?
Because that would be sad. If you're like hitting on the fictional lady in your imagination, and even your imagination's like, ew, I'm gonna go over.
just like just imagine like having such low self-esteem that like you can't even land like the imaginary perfect girl in your own head. Like you're just like you imagine like your perfect woman, and you're just like, hey, what's
And
up, baby?
she still has enough common sense not to like make with the not make with the pepper spray when you approach.
Bear mace, bear mace. That's right. My fictional ladies, they always carry bear mace. Not on me, of course, because I wouldn't know about that. But I mean, because I'm
Right.
obviously very smooth, and a fictional lady that I imagine would never
Oh yeah,
bear
no.
mace me in the face until I'm crying and in pain and possibly even throwing up all over the place. That's definitely never a scenario that I would have ever imagined in my entire life, because it's not something that would ever happen to me.
No, it wouldn't. You're cutie patootie.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
No, you're
Thank you,
you're welcome, bro.
man. So yeah, the subject of today's waifus.
Yeah. I apparently let it slip that even though I'm not a rampant weeb,
Yeah.
I still have a collection of waifus. Like if you know of an anime or video game series or even like maybe some television series
Mhm.
that like animated American Western animation.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you know there's a series that I know a little bit about or you think is mainstream enough that I've seen it, I've probably, determined best girl
Yeah.
in that game and or series.
Right. Right.
And maybe girl you settle for when best girl rejects you.
What? See. Oh man, that perplexes me. That actually perplexes me. Like, what? Like, so you like because whenever me personally, whenever I imagine best girl, it's always like the idea. Well, like here's what's really interesting though too is because like I have a really weird perspective on best girl. Best girl a lot of the time is not in my mind like be like, yeah, that's the girl I'm gonna bruh. Like that's not how my brain situates
Oh,
it. Um like I always kind of see it as like, do they have a personality? Are they interesting? What do they add to the story? Like, what various different, actions do they take that, shows that they are not a cardboard cutout? Like, like how do they interact with the other characters? Like what are they doing that, makes their lifestyle seem real and things like that.
yes, but
And
let's take this to its logical conclusion.
mhm.
We're both at the very least bisexual men who lean very very heavy into heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, most of my best girls, like, yeah, I'd hit that, like, but
no. So the best girl is the best girl is not necessarily the most bangable. The best girl is the one where if you were given girls to put into a Mary kill list would
Mhm.
end up being the Mary. Like
That's interesting.
so you're looking at a girl that you can, stomach to spend more than 2 days with
Yeah.
and maybe not even get laid in those 2 days. That's
Hmm.
the that's the best girl. The thing is the idea is that eventually you're gonna hit that,
Right.
but in kind of a strong relationship type
I
of
just think it's super
anime.
interesting that you actually make like you categorize backup girls. Cuz that is literally never something whenever I've thought about like, who is my favorite lady of like a story or anything like that. I've never it's always like, okay, this is best girl, right?
Okay,
And like this girl's
best girl's the
okay.
Mary,
Yeah.
backup girl's the bruh. So if we're playing a game of Mary bruh,
Right.
which with like a you give me an anime series or a video game series.
Mhm.
I'll give you, the Mary out of that series. The best girl is Mary. The backup is the
Bruh.
like you could give me any an anime a list of like you ask me like a series or a video game that you know that I'm familiar with, even one that you maybe not don't think I'm familiar with, because I could just look it up real quick and I could tell you like Mary
Bruh.
Kill, and I could probably explain my rationale for you.
Okay, I get that. Um,
So if you're curious, feel free to ask.
yeah. So you would probably say that the majority of your waifus are probably game based, huh?
I would easily wager about 80%.
Do you? I'm actually curious. Do you have a waifu that like you would rank above all else? Like when you hear waifu, there's one that just like immediately comes to your mind, like immediately.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Uh, I don't like. I kind of when I'm thinking waifu, I'm thinking I'm in their universe
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily they're in mine.
Okay. All right.
But there is But if I had gun to my head right now, I could probably like best one number one waifu.
Really? Okay. What's that?
The ice gym leader for Pokemon Shield.
No shit. Are you for real? I never would have expected like
Yeah,
a character from
yeah,
a Pokemon game. I never
yeah.
would have expected that.
Straight up character from a Pokemon game. Look up Melony. Melony.
Melanie. All right, I'm gonna take a look right now. I guess I gotta know. Um. All right, let's take a look here. Images. I spelled her name wrong. Oh, she's cute. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
no, she's like one of the first gym leaders
yeah.
that is like you know, or at least the female gym leaders that isn't borderline jailbait.
I love how puffy she is. She's super cute.
She is literally Pokemon's first MILF.
Yeah, I like
Her her,
her.
her son is the rock gym or the rocker ground gym leader.
Oh man, there is some pretty interesting, to say the least, fan art of this character.
Oh, she got Rule 34. She got Rule 34 harder than the water gym leader.
Yeah, I like how fluffy she is. She's super
Oh,
cute.
she's a snow bunny, like a thick snow bunny.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Oh yeah, no, she is my if I had to go ahead and gun to head say one number one waifu of all of my waifus in my waifu harem. Um,
Really?
I have to go for Melanie.
Wow.
Like
I
she's fun. She's got that thickness that I like. She's age appropriate.
sure.
Um, so yeah, no, Melanie.
Nice. That's yeah. That's she's cute. I've never seen her before. So like this is literally like the first time I've ever seen this character before. That blows my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I
Uh,
and I mean that's something else. I never would have believed it would have been like a Pokemon character. That blows my mind.
yeah, no. It's actually, to be perfectly honest, I have waifu lists for almost every Pokemon game.
Really? Wow. I'm trying to think of
Okay,
like
okay. So when I played most of them
uh-huh.
was age. When I played most Pokemon games, a lot of those characters were age appropriate,
Sure, that's okay.
or at least closer to age appropriate.
Yeah. I mean like I don't know. I usually don't like have a I mean, I don't know. I don't usually have a super big problem with like I mean That's so difficult. Like I don't have like I mean usually I like consider it's like, oh well, like this character is not age appropriate, so it's, you know, I'm immediately not attracted to the character. But I also don't see it as like this huge issue for other people a lot of the time unless they are genuinely a menace. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but
For the Pokemon anime,
mhm.
my Mary is Serena.
Serena, I recognize that name. Is she also from Shield or something like that?
No, she was the XY, the Kalos
Hmm.
anime series.
Oh, so I didn't like play XY, and I definitely didn't watch the anime. So I guess I'll probably have to. What was her name?
All right,
Serena.
Serena.
Okay, let's see what we get here. Oh, like she's a protagonist character.
Yeah, she's a
Okay.
protagonist character in the anime.
Okay. All right. I like her outfit. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Huh. Whoa. Ooh, that's a picture. Ooh. 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 All right. Well, ooh, okay. Thank you, Deviant Art. Jesus Christ.
Oh dear God! Safe search on. Safe search on. Uh,
um
safe search on, my man.
It wasn't like she was naked or anything. It was just a very sexy pose with her in her normal clothes. But I was like, hobada, 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 hobada. When it comes to characters in Pokemon, I always like, and this is more of like, it wasn't necessarily that I thought that she was sexy. It's more that I thought she was really cool. Is I think I can't remember exactly what her name was, but which is terrible because I'm like trying to think of waifus, and you should be able to remember waifu names. But it was
Yeah.
more like it was well
I
because
mean,
like
if you're gonna boink a chick, the least you could do is remember her name.
right. Well, so like I always really liked. I think it was like Zara or like the girl from the Emerald expansion in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. She was like Zara or Zora or something like that, or I can't
Okay,
remember her.
that name doesn't.
I'm trying to. I'm like typing in the Delta Emerald. Uh, she was the time traveler character in the story. Yeah, Zinnia. Zinnia. Okay, that's who it is. It's Zinnia. Like
Oh yeah, she's good.
I thought she was so cool. Like, and I was like in its own weird way, I thought she was really hot because of how cool she was. So like, I really liked her. And like, my favorite thing about her was, do you remember her swagger? Do you remember like when you go into the final battle and she like leans over with her arms out and she like swaggers and shit right before she fights you? It's the most intense shit I've ever seen. And I was like, that's badass. This girl's a queen. Look at her go. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that fight? The
Not
Zinnia sweat.
specifically. The not necessarily. It's been forever, man.
Oh man. She had a hell of a swagger. She's so cool. And she had like the best battle music too. Like, I don't know, everything about her in my mind was so freaking badass. Like, I thought she was so cool. So she was like a super, and I feel bad because I couldn't remember her name. I knew it started with a Z, but I thought she was so freaking awesome. Um and I love her because I adore her as a character because I just thought she was so cool. And like, and the thing is too is like the Delta Emerald storyline was a good story. Like, it was actually really interesting, which is unusual for Pokemon games. Like, it was actually interesting, and like it was all about like the multiverse and like time traveling, and like 'cause Zinnia comes from like an alternate universe where like the world ends in like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Like the world that she comes from is like struck by a meteor. And so she travels to like your universe to like stop that meteor strike from occurring. Like, it's so cool. And she's such a cool character and I love her. Um but there was another character from Pokemon that I really liked, and she was the psychic girl that she at one point she's a frontier brain, and then she becomes a elite 4 member, and she uses psychic types, and she is always like in when she's a frontier brain she's really active, but when she's an elite 4 member she's like sleeping all the time, and like one of her main Pokemon is Musharna, the sleeping Pokemon. What was her name? I want to say was it wasn't Cynthia, was it Cynthia? I don't think so. Let me see. No, because Cynthia was the champion. What was her name? She was like one of my favorites. See, this is like I'm so bad when it comes to Pokemon characters. I feel like it started like hold on. I think it was. Okay, let's see if that gives me. There she is, Caitlin. See, I knew. See, I can always remember the first letter. Caitlin. I loved Caitlin. I thought she was like the coolest, and I thought she was really hot, and she was kind of like at an early age for me. Like I was like, she's my Pokemon waifu. Caitlin, I love you. Why don't you love me back? Yeah, she was the psychic type user, and she was in, I think they originally put her in like Emerald version, and she was like the frontier brain in Emerald version for the battle castle. And yeah, I loved her. And then they brought her back as an Elite 4 member in, I think, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I believe. And I was like, oh my god, I love you more. Love me back. Love me back, Caitlin. So there you go. Those are the only two that I can really think of that I would consider waifu material from Pokemon. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard because most of the ones you consider, you look into it and you're like, oh, she's 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why, like, the safe bet a lot of the time is actually, because it's funny, because we both named, well, I mean, Zinnia is probably really young, and that's not appropriate, but I just liked her because I thought she was super cool. I guess I thought she was kind of hot because of how cool she was, but, like, I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? But, like, you picked like a gym leader MILF character, and, like, I'm not totally sure, but I think Caitlin is an older character as well. Like,
you would think gym leaders are safe, but probably... I have to disagree with you on the gym leaders being safe.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, like there's either like the like the established really old gym leaders.
Yeah.
But then there's the ones who are like, yeah, we're about a year or two older than Ash.
Blaine is Husbando.
Yeah.
Yeah. It may sound terrible, but I'm actually in Caitlin's like wiki to find out if they have like an age for her, and it doesn't look like they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So age. You just kind of hope that she's 18.
Yeah. Well, because when she was like the brain for the battle castle, she was like a tiny girl. So like that's inappropriate, right? But like by the
Right.
time that because they established that by the time that she's an Elite Four member, she's significantly older. Like, and she definitely doesn't look the same as the tiny girl that she was as the Frontier Brain. And I mean, she's got boobies, so I mean, like hopefully, maybe, like I don't know.
That's not.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not.
I
That's
know.
that's.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Yeah,
I'm.
they have no age for her at all in here. So there's
Yeah.
no,
That's.
it's
That's.
whatever. But this is like what I'm talking about earlier, where it's like, you try your best and like, you just, and there's no established age. So you're just going to have to be like, yeah, whatever. And as long as you're not like a freak of nature about it, then whatever, it's fine. But, you know, totally not weird. Totally, like, I mean, in real life, I'm actually attracted to older women. So like and me and Lettuce have talked about this before. Like I usually prefer my women over the age of 20. So mostly because of personality reasons, not necessarily because of age limit reasons, but you know. But yeah, like I said, like I'm still really surprised that your go-to waifu is actually a Pokemon character. That blows my mind. But
Yeah. No.
I think that's super cool.
No. It mostly because you find you mostly because like I keep thinking about her because she came from a spot you just don't think.
Yeah, like it's unexpected.
Because
So that's what
because
makes her
it
stick out.
yeah, because if she was basically Lulu, then you're like, yeah, she's the, you know, thick chick in the Final Fantasy game. Of course she's the best girl.
Yeah, everybody likes Lulu. I really don't like Yuna. Like I don't like her. I've never liked Yuna. Even as a kid, like when I used to play Final Fantasy X
I
as a
mean,
kid, I did not like Yuna.
I mean, I definitely have Yuna as the backup. If you
Right.
can if you just can ignore the if you can ignore the fact that that she kind of is supposed to be your girlfriend, but in all honesty is more like your little sister.
She seems like she'd be annoying, right? I think
Yeah,
she,
but that's why she's the girl that gets relegated to bruh. You don't you're not necessarily obligated to pay that much attention.
Yeah. Well, also like one of the things that was really cool about like Lulu in Final Fantasy X, she's very mature in like how she speaks, how she talks, how she acts. Like she's a woman, but like Yuna's
Well,
like
she was the adult of the group.
yeah, and like Yuna's like a childish girl. Like she acts like a childish girl. She says childish girly things. Like she's very
She's she acts very much like the 15-year-old girl she is.
yeah. And then there was what's her face? Was her
Riku,
yeah, Riku.
she was
I
even
actually
younger.
well, so listen, when I was a young boy, when I was a young teenager, not even a full like I think I played that
Right.
game.
So when you played 10, you were, 15, 16. When I played 10, I was 22, 23.
Yeah. I used to have a
So
crush on Riku. I'll be honest about it. I loved her high
it
energy. I loved
was
how exciting she was. Loved
it
how
was
silly she
hard.
was.
It was hard not to because Nomura concentrated really hard on her ass.
Yeah, it's true. I do remember there's like a scene when you first meet her and she's climbing out, like you have to fight the robot that she's in. And like you destroy the robot and it like explodes. And she like, I remember distinctly so well. That's like burned into my horny teenager memory. Is there's
Yeah.
a scene where she climbs out of the robot and it's just like a camera full of ass. And you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're like
Mikey,
you're like
Mikey.
you're like looking at that ass, and then
Yeah.
you're like at 3, 2, 1, and I'm like, did Kojima direct this game?
Yeah. I did really enjoy it. I think that more like I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Kojima, Metal Gear gave me some pretty good waifus, but um,
Yeah. I don't have
there,
much
there
experience with Metal Gear games, to be honest.
there's there that backup girl list is actually pretty long in Metal Gear in the Metal Gear series.
Do they have like a lot of hot ladies in that series?
Well, Kojima's kind of a thirsty boy.
All right, all right.
The boss fights in Metal Gear Solid 4,
Yeah.
they all entail girls that were motion captured by actual models.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
and yeah, like Naomi Hunter is a boss character in uh in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm.
And the thing is, if you go for the non-lethal kill,
Yeah.
they dance around the J-pop while you take pictures of them in their and what they are now wearing, which can only be called a Zero suit.
All right. Like that Samus stuff that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was some there's definitely enough eye candy. Uh and then there's Quiet.
Is there like a character called Quiet? Is that why you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're in front of a computer. Google Quiet Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, okay, all right, all right.
Did you know that Cinder did a clip of the stream we did together where I'm doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
He's such a dork. I love him.
Everybody loves Cece.
All right. Let's take a look here. Oh, that was not what I was expecting. Huh. Is it weird that when I imagined, like, just in my head, when I heard the name, like, Quiet, my first thought is I was like, I bet this chick has white hair. I bet she has, like, white, silvery hair. That just sounds like something that a character named Quiet would have. She would have white, silvery hair. But no, she's a brunette.
Yeah, she's a brunette.
Yeah.
She's early 20s.
Sure. She's
And
pretty
is
fine
wearing
looking. Yeah, she's pretty fine looking.
And is gallivanting around the desert and or jungle
In a bikini.
in the least amount of clothing that she could possibly wear.
Hell yeah, girl, you get it. I love the sniper rifle. Oh my, that thing is bigger than she is.
Okay,
Holy
well
shit.
she's the sniper boss.
Man.
She's a sniper boss
She
in
likes
Metal Gear Solid 5.
You could tell she likes them big and long. Look at that firepower.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little hot over here. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Damn, girl, what is up? Apparently it's me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Hideo Kojima,
Yeah.
in the lead up to this, because this character was known well before the game came out.
Yeah.
And people asked him, is like, Kojima, why do you have another female character with her tits out?
Hell yeah. Because he probably responded with, like, hell yeah.
Because Kojima has, it's a meme.
Dude,
Kojima,
she looks amazing.
well, I mean, none of Kojima's characters look ugly.
I'm like actually enthralled. Like I'm looking through all sorts of pictures of this character. I am like legitimately enthralled with how she looks. She looks like amazing.
Okay, so according to Hideo Kojima, once we found out why she is basically wearing nothing.
Well, I mean, oh my god, right? I was about to say, well, her pants are okay, but then I saw a picture where she's basically in a thong.
that's thong and a fishnet. She is
Yeah.
literally wearing nothing.
Yeah, I just now like I was like looking and I was like, oh, she's wearing pants, and then I immediately come to a picture where she's literally in a thong.
Yeah, no, she's in a thong and a fishnet.
Holy
To
shit!
wear normal clothing would be incredibly disadvantageous to us.
Humana,
And
humana, 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 humana.
and Hideo Kojima promised us we would cry when we found out why. She
Okay.
has a vocal cord parasite that allows her to breathe and absorb water through her skin.
All right, man.
To wear to wear clothing.
Oh my god, I just saw the most cursed picture I've ever seen.
To, to,
It's
to, to wear clothing would be to suffocate and dehydrate her.
oh, sounds good to me, man. Whatever. I mean, like I'm sure you're right.
The thing is she's not the only Metal Gear Solid character to
I'm
have this same parasite.
uh-huh. I'm about to send you the most cursed picture you've ever seen. Hold on a
Oh,
second.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
you're gonna love this. This is gonna this you're just I don't even want to spoil it for you. I just want you to see it because it's kind of a work of art. Hold on.
Give it to me, Slappy Pappy.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. This one's gonna like you are going to absolutely love this picture. Hold on a second. I had to rummage through a lot of pictures of Quiet to find this masterpiece. All right, where is it? Hold on a second. There it is. Okay, you ready? It's going to be in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
I assumed as much.
There's your masterpiece.
Metal Gear. Okay, so here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, and why Hideo Kojima is full of all of the shit.
Okay. Do you want to tell the audience what picture I sent you? Just give me just.
So we have Quiet's outfit, but it's currently being worn by Punished Snake.
He's wearing a goddamn banana hammock.
He's got the banana hammock and the torn fishnets and the bikini that's only there to keep his nipples from getting sunburnt.
Oh my god, it's a work of art. It's a goddamn
and the piece of metal sticking out of his skull. It's a piece of art. Anyway,
is it weird that I think it would be better if he was wearing high heels?
Nah, she didn't wear high heels. Like, that is her outfit. That is her outfit on his body. And God bless whoever did that.
It's beautiful, man. Oh shit. All right, go on. I'm sorry, man. I
No. We're good. We're good.
Oh.
So there was one other character in Metal Gear Solid 3 that had the same parasite infection.
Okay.
It was the sniper boss in Metal Gear Solid 3. Google Metal Gear Solid 3 The End.
What is with these character names?
It's Hideo Kojima.
Ugh. All right, hold on a minute.
Hideo Kojima is the kind of guy who writes pissing into his walking simulator.
I forgot that he did that.
That's
forgot that. Oh man.
We got to whip out Norman Reedus's meatus and whittle on some mushrooms.
Oh, is it this old dude?
Yes, this old dude has the same parasite that Quiet has. Now,
Oh
do you
my
notice
god.
anything? Do you notice anything funny?
Okay, so I know
He
what
is
point you're trying to make,
he
but
is fully clothed. Wearing clothing doesn't cause him to suffocate.
okay, well, you know what? I got another beautiful thing for you to see.
Oh, did they give the end Quiet's outfit?
Yeah,
Because I want that. I want that.
man. Man, these artists, like, I love them. I love them. It's not as detailed as the previous one I sent you, but it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Oh man, I'm having so much fun with this right now. This is a beautiful thing that we have done here tonight. I almost called you Cinder. Why? Ugh. All right, hold on. I'm just laughing too hard and losing my goddamn mind. All right, here we go. There you go,
Yep.
buddy boo.
Mm. And all I can say is yummy.
Oh god. And like what's funny about it is like I think that the artist who made this did it for the like made this picture specifically for what you're talking about, for the reasons that you're talking about. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, no, that was the purpose for that video. So anyway, best girl in Metal Gear in the whole Metal Gear Solid franchise,
Yeah.
Olga.
All right. Well, this is I don't know anything about Metal Gear, so I'm gonna have to look this one up too. All
Yeah.
right. She sounds like she's pretty intimidating. You know, usually women that are, you know, named like Olga. All right. Let's see. Olga. That is not a picture I was expecting. All right, man. Uh.
She was so she was kind of just messing around
Hmm.
in the background,
Yeah.
trying to make sure her child, um, whose gender we did not find out about until Metal Gear Solid 5,
Okay.
um, was not killed by the Patriot, so she was just playing a part. But she was fairly badass. Um,
It's really
she
interesting. There's a wide variety of different kinds of pictures of her in like different styles.
well, yeah. Uh, I mean, because she, had a couple of different outfit changes during the game.
Well, so what's really interesting to me is like in some pictures, she's like a sexy, beautiful woman. And then in other pictures, she's like a tomboy, like military soldier. So,
Well,
like,
yeah, because she does that. She does the whole that's part of the reason why she's best girl is
yeah,
because she has that full range.
yeah, she
She goes
does.
from she goes from like hardcore she goes like hardcore femme to hardcore tomboy to
Yeah.
screw it, I'm a cyber ninja too.
Yeah, there are some cyber, like some robotic stuff of her here too.
Yeah.
It's really
So
interesting. She's got a lot of different like looks and styles.
yeah, she was probably out of all the female characters that Hideo Kojima ever wrote, out save for like the boss.
Right.
Um, Olga was probably the most like well-rounded.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Hideo Kojima likes writing female characters that are basically metaphors for a theme.
That's kind of interesting. I didn't
So
know
so
that.
those so they only really have like one track personalities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
it's just kind of interesting, like because I'm like just kind of looking through all the different photos, and there are a variety of different looks for her. Like, I mean, it seems like her most popular look is her soldier appearance, which is she's very man. Like her soldier appearance is she looks very manly. Like, I
yeah,
mean, if she,
when she's got the full combat, like the full combat
yeah,
gear, she's not down to her
but like it, yeah,
suspendies and undershirt.
it's really well because like even when she's like got that like really manly look to her, she still looks really hot. Like she's
Yeah,
still
no.
really hot looking. Like she's fine. But it's just like it's really interesting because she looks like she's like battle hardened, like she's like a soldier, and like
I
it's
mean,
really
yeah,
interesting. Huh?
yeah,
That
no.
is an
That
interesting
is
character.
that is the Metal Gear best girl.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about Metal Gear games. I only played the very first Metal Gear Solid, and I didn't even play it by myself. I played it alongside of a friend of mine, like a long, long time ago when I was like a young boy, pretty much. And we were kind of like tag teaming trying to beat it. Um, but after the first Metal Gear Solid game, I never played another one after that. But I hear they're good. Like, I mean, I heard they're like pretty good games. So,
They're they can be.
all right.
You kind of I'm pretty sure when you were playing Metal Gear Solid 1, everybody was kind of just used to the really weird tank controls because
Mhm.
every PlayStation game had tank controls.
Right, right.
And Hideo Kojima he has some blind sides in his writing,
Mm.
and you could tell that he is an incredibly thirsty boy. If you've, I mean, you saw Quiet.
Yeah, that was impressive. Like I'm not. I was like
Um,
humna 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 humna
uh,
humna.
Quiet wasn't the first time where he was guilty of mentally handicapped woman with with her tits half out
All right.
as a characterization.
Right.
And in the game previous, he put like four supermodels in zero suits.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just kind of a meme. Hideo
My
Kojima is a very thirsty happy slappy chappy chappy.
my man. Well, hey man, like, what why not? Like, you're at that point where you're like I'm super successful. I make amazing games. Like, what why not? Why not? And I mean, like we're all, healthy, men here, and we can enjoy the same things. Like he's doing it to make a great game with amazing eye candy in it. So like, like I was fine. As fine. I'm okay with it. I mean, I like me some quiet action. Like, it's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Yeah, yeah. So that is just a taste of some of my. So you want to kind of just ask me series or something that you know that I know about and see if I can't surprise you.
What series that you
You,
know
you think
about?
you think that I like a video game series or a or an anime series that you may think that I know about, where I could tell you what I think the best girl is
I got one.
and see if you
I got one. I got one. I know, and I
okay
know this is going to be incredibly difficult for you for a
okay
multitude of reasons.
okay
Who's best girl in Kingdom Hearts?
complete series, or do you want to do game by game?
Hit me with your best one. Give me the complete series. Give me the series as a whole. Who's best girl in Kingdom Hearts?
Shion.
Shion is she has black hair? I think I recognize that. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, she's black hair, um, kind of really. She's the reason why I actually kind of like her
Yeah, okay.
is
I do remember this character. She
is is because um she is a replica of, so she was created as a replica of a Sora based on his memories of Kyrie, and
right.
she just kind of showed up
Mhm.
for one game, and she was instantly better than Kyrie.
Yeah, I get the idea
Kyrie,
from a lot of people that know. I get the impression from a large amount of people that a lot of people don't like Kyrie.
well, no, the problem that with Kyrie is Kyrie's just fucking useless.
Yeah.
She exists. She exists. So in Kingdom Hearts 1, she existed to be the damsel in distress.
Mhm.
In Kingdom Hearts 2, she was a damsel in distress because she chose to be.
Okay.
Like
So she
the situation.
Peach syndrome. She's Peach.
No, 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 no. Peach gets kidnapped. Peach gets overpowered. Bowser, unless you're one of those guys who have who want to have that conversation about where Peach is, going to Bowser to get what Mario couldn't give her.
I've seen some stuff that basically says that Peach is basically the ultimate evil villain. Like she's manipulating everything from behind the scenes. And so
I
like
mean,
when she gets captured by Bowser, it's all part of her evil scheme.
I've there's the ending of Odyssey almost kind of bears that out,
Yeah.
because like she's got both Bowser and Mario there, and she's like, "No, I don't want either one of you guys."
Give me some of that sexy Luigi action. We all know it's true. We all know it's true.
Something like that. But
We
yeah,
all know Luigi
um,
has that big dick
but
energy.
but in uh, but it's but for Kyrie, like in Kingdom Hearts 1, um, fates collided in a way that she was kind of the damsel in distress,
Right.
and sorta ish.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts 2, she chose to be the damsel in distress when she didn't necessarily have to be.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the game, uh, she's revealed as being as capable enough to hold a keyblade,
Okay.
and then proceeds to do nothing towards the end of the game, and then spends how much time in a hyperbolic time chamber training to be for the final fight. And basically, when it comes time to put, metal to a heart, when it comes time to put keyblade into a heartless, she taps one on the head and then just turtles.
Nice. That's hot. That's pretty hot.
Yeah. Uh,
I like it when my women can suck their head into their neck. That's kind of hot.
Pretty much. Like they actually give her the ability to do a fight in the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at that point, just like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah.
This isn't real. This is Sora doing really weird Sora things and uh imagining Kyrie beating Xehanort.
See, I mean I've talked to you about this a little bit before. I don't really like Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I liked it when I was a kid, you know.
Uh,
But like I don't really like the games. I don't think their characters are all that compelling or interesting. And I mean, it's obvious from the stuff that you've shown me that the whole story is just kind of slapped together. Like they don't really.
okay, so Slapped Together is a bad. I'm correct you on Slapped Together.
Okay.
The story is kind of piecemealed, pushed into place
Okay.
because when Nomura was writing Kingdom Hearts 1, he had absolutely no idea he was going to be making Chain of Memories in Kingdom Hearts 2
Mm-hmm.
because Kingdom Hearts 1 was a proof of concept.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts 1 did well, so they were like, yes, sequels. So Nomura's like, oh dear God,
Does
I wrote so many things to this game that are not conducive to having a sequel.
so I got a question, and because I don't remember this, okay, this is not something that I remember. With the intention that you just with what you just explained to me, which is the idea of like he wasn't expecting that there was going to be more afterwards because the first game was a success. Does the first game wrap itself up? Like, does that game actually end at the end of the game? Because
No, it doesn't.
so
But
then, like,
name me a video game that doesn't sequel bait.
but like, I mean, so I always kind of think that if like a game like that, he's like, this isn't gonna make more games. Like, so I mean, you would probably write it with the idea of like wrapping it up in that one game.
Okay,
And then you get a sequel
okay,
because it's like, oh, surprise, like I get another game. So then you start
yeah.
revealing how it continues on from the first game in the second game. So like I would kind of expect that Kingdom Hearts would have tried to like finish off the story in the singular game and
Okay,
then
so what
stumble into the
happened?
next one, you know?
So what happened was the game kind of did conclude itself,
Okay.
but the ending kind of left a trail to be like, so that in the off chance that something with Mickey Mouse's face on it sold well,
Mhm.
because surprise, it does.
Yeah.
Um, they could be like, yeah, no, we totally meant to do this. The
Okay.
game, the story itself is a good self-contained story. The problem is there's a lot in that story that has since been retconned.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, because once they actually expand it into like a full blown
Yeah.
series, they can't go with the original storyline that they did for a one off. Like, that's
Well,
obvious.
no, like the gummy ship stuff.
Yeah.
The events of Kingdom Hearts 1 should have shut down the interworld highways
Okay.
because Sora had locked every world's heart, the heart of every world, and gone there and locked the keyhole, which would have destroyed all those interstellar highways that he was using. However,
Sure.
you gotta have a way to get in between worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2, so they had to like hand wave a reason for them to still be open.
Mm.
Sora was supposed to be the only Keyblade wielder. That has since been retconned. Um, Mickey
Wait a
Mouse.
minute. I thought that like Riku wielded a Keyblade in the first game. Am I misremembering that?
Riku. Okay, so Maleficent convinced Riku that Riku was the rightful wielder of the Keyblade.
Right.
And Riku was able to be like, "Ha, I'm stronger than you," and then held out his hand and stole the Keyblade.
Right.
But then, uh, then Sora had his, at the time, very poignant, "My friends are my power"
Uh-huh.
speech, and he got his Keyblade back.
Okay. Yep. You right. Um.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but that has, like, only one Keyblade has since been, like, retconned, like, 5,000 times. Because,
Man, I don't.
Kyrie has a Keyblade,
Uh-huh.
Riku got his own Keyblade at some point.
Sure. Isn't
Uh,
there like a character called the Master and he has a Keyblade or something?
yeah, the Masters. Oh,
Yeah.
well, no, there were, like, a million, like,
Sure. Well, and then there was like all the barren land with all the Keyblades in it from the
Yeah, there
Great
was
Keyblade War.
there was a Keyblade War. There's the Keyblade graveyard with like 1,000 Keyblades in, like 1,000,000 Keyblades in it.
I gotta tell you,
Uh,
these games are dumb. Like, I mean, they're good games. Let me take that back. They're good games, but I think their
no,
story is really dumb.
the the story is what happens when you when you're forced to take a story well past what you intended to do with it. Metal Gear has the same issue.
Oh, okay.
Metal Gear Solid 2, you had one of the bosses called Vamp. Vamp was just supernatural.
Okay.
He was an immortal vampire who had,
Hey, listen. If they're writing characters like Quiet, that's some grade A writing. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. You make a character like Quiet, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Quiet came after Metal Gear Solid 4, where Metal Gear Solid 4 had to basically explain some of the supernatural stuff in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
So Vamp was like in Metal Gear Solid 2 was this incredibly hard, supernatural, super strong, super fast vampire.
Nice.
And in Metal Gear Solid 4, they wrote away all of his abilities as nanomachines.
Hell yeah.
Like
nanomachines can do everything. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everything is nanomachine. So basically, and Hideo Kojima actually admitted to this. He's like, yeah, I never intended to answer that question. So
nanomachines, bro.
so I have nanomachines and parasites.
Hell yeah.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts, best girl Shion.
Okay. All
right. Backup girl is Naminé.
That's the blonde, right?
Yeah, that is
the blonde girl who manipulates memories.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember her.
Basically anybody not Kairi. Like it's Shion Naminé, Larxene, the girl from Twilight Town, and then Kairi.
Okay. So I'm down to like question you on other.
That's not including the Disney princesses.
Oh, all right.
I'm pretty sure Disney princesses is its own waifu list, as its own waifu series.
Princess Aurora.
What?
Princess Aurora?
Yeah. No.
You don't like Princess Aurora? Dude, I used to think like when I was my little boy brain, like literally like when I was like a very small boy. Like I watched all of like the obvious in your face Disney princess movies and I was like I want to give the kiss that wakes up Princess Aurora. Like
yeah.
I was in love with that Disney princess. I love Princess Aurora. But I mean, she doesn't do anything, so I mean, it's reasonable.
The thing is, it's like all the old phase princesses. Pretty much useless.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, some of them did some things. Like, I mean, Belle was a pretty active lady. She did a lot of stuff. I mean, the whole thing is that she's a badass librarian who wants to like live her life and do her own thing, and she doesn't want to deal with Gaston. Like, I mean, she could have an easy life if she just married Gaston, but she's a brainy girl and she likes books and she wants to live her life. Like, Belle was cool. I liked her.
Yeah, so instead of Gaston, she does the furry thing.
It was all a trap.
Yeah, I can't get down for Belle. As far as the early princesses go, it's Jasmine, but Actually, for Disney princesses, as far as they go,
Yeah.
um, what's her face? From because she's an actual Disney princess now. From Wreck It Ralph.
I've never seen Wreck-It Ralph.
Penelope von Schweetz.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, yeah, Vanellope von Schweetz. She is the uh, princess for Wreck It Ralph,
Sure.
and she is spunky little kid. Um, but I I'm gonna go ahead and do the exception to where I don't think she's lolly. I think
Okay.
she's just I think she's just, you know,
Is she 300 years old, Lettuce?
she's at least 20, she's at least 40.
It's okay. I have I'll be honest, I actually have a couple of waifus that are the 300-year-old lolly trope. My favorite my favorite is Rory the Reaper. Rory the
Um
Reaper is a it's okay. It's an anime
I'm
character.
verifying that Disney hasn't actually set her canonical age.
There's an anime called Gate that I really liked, and they have a Gothalita lolly character named Rory the Reaper, and love at first sight. She's a 300-year-old immortal apostle, gothic Lolita character, and she's absolutely the bee's knees. Like, I love her, but it's more like it's not like a. It's one of those things that I was talking about earlier, where it's not so much a sexual thing. It's like she's just spunky and amazing and fun and ridiculous, and I love her. Like, and she literally is like the classic, like, I'm an immortal 300-year-old like Lolita. So I actually at one point wanted to get my hands on a figurine of Rory the Reaper, but they're so expensive. Like, the only reason why I don't collect anime figurines a lot of the time is because they're so goddamn expensive. It's ridiculous. Um,
Okay, so I'm bad.
what? Were you wrong about
Dis-
the age?
Disney does not set a canonical age.
Yeah, but neither does Pokemon. Like, I was trying to look up that one character, and they're like, "There's no canonical
S-
age for this character."
some they do, some they don't.
Yeah.
Um, but however, the Pixar director has said in an interview 12.
All right, man. Well, okay. Like, when did that movie come out? When did that movie come out? Do you remember the year?
I don't believe that matters.
Okay.
I know I know
You know
you're
which.
trying
Yeah, yeah. You knew which
I know you're
direction I was coming
trying
out with.
I know you're trying to save me. Uh, that movie did come out 10 years ago.
Yeah. So she would. My logic was going to be that she's 22, but
No, she is at best.
see, this is like why I don't get super butt mad about the concept of age of like fictional characters. Like I said,
Right.
there's a difference between like adoring a fictional character and being a
Bruh.
menace. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? There's a
Right.
difference, okay? Like,
You could say that the sequel takes place about 2 years, even though the sequel did take place 6 years after the game in universe. I believe it was like two.
right.
So you could probably say that since there was that if there was a 12-year if she is 12 years as originally depicted, and in the sequel, you could say that 2 years have passed. Yeah, she is forever 14 until John Lasseter releases an 18-year-old version of her.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind as I fawn over my 300-year-old gothic Lolita.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, like, I mean, I definitely, like, I was watching some animes that were, like, focused around, like, high school characters. And, like, I didn't have a problem, like, being like, this character's best girl. Like, like, out of the 4 or 5 high school lady characters that are all very obviously, like, fictional underage characters, like, there's a best girl. And, like, I mean, like, I guess a part of it, though, is that, like, anime is very weird for me. Anime is like, I usually, when I like, for and I know that you and me kind of have like different views on this because you're more of like a hentai fan. So like you're kind of like on a different like understanding of this concept than I am, which is like, I don't sexually fawn over anime characters. Like, or like best girl characters. Like, I adore them and I think they're cute, and like I can enjoy like who they are and what they do and like what they represent, but it's not so much of like a sexual fantasy for me. Like, that's not really how I look at it a lot of the time. um
No, it's not how I look at it, but the way I'm looking at it was, I'm putting myself in their universe.
yeah.
How would I get along with this person?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can definitely say that, like, legit, if I was more of a hentai fan, which I mean, I can get down on some henties, like, it's all good. But if I was legitimately a hentai fan, I would probably be watching stuff that is legitimately more age appropriate to me because that would feel more okay to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
And like,
no, like in hentai, I avoid the school bus full of uh
yeah,
schoolgirls
yeah.
trope in the tentacle hentai as much as possible. Like as soon as I see a school bus crossing a bridge, I'm like, nope,
Audi 5000, I getcha.
nope.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's like, like, and I want to assume that, like, you kind of, like you just said, like, you kind of feel the same way, like it's in universe, and like it's not necessarily like when you're picking your best girl, it's not automatically some kind of like sexual fantasy. Like, it's
No,
like, like, you're in the perspective of, I genuinely enjoy this character.
right.
um, and I was even going to go further than that because I don't know if you do this. I don't always do this because it's usually conditional, because sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. Are you like, and I do legitimately do this when it's like appropriate for what I'm like, the anime that I'm watching or whatever. Do you ever pick best guy? Do you have like
I,
best boys?
I have.
Yeah. I do too. I've watched, like, I mean, not as much in video games, but like in animes, like, it's very rare. But every once in a while they'll be like, here's a character and he's a guy, and like he's super actually interesting and he's not the main character. Cuz like I never pick like the main character of an anime as best boy. Like, I mean, I mean, it's very rare. Like, actually, I mean, there's one anime that I was watching where I was like, the main character is best boy. But I mean, usually what ends up happening is there'll be like an anime and you'll have the main character, and the main character happens to have like a best friend who, like, his best friend is like legitimately interesting and like cares about him, and like they are legitimately close as like male friends, and like, you can see that the best, like, the secondary, best friend character of the main character is legitimately like a good dude who like cares about his best friend who is the main character. And I'm like, this guy's all right. Like, I like him. Like, and I'll be like, this is best boy right here. Like, he takes care of his own. He cares about his best friend. Like, he'll go through bullshit to like make sure his best friend's okay. This is best boy right here. And I've had a
Yeah,
few of those. I've had a few of those.
yeah. Like if the anime protagonist, uh, like the protagonist is never the best boy because the protagonist is supposed to be the best boy.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, but the best boy, like, because like the main if the main protagonist is female, then you don't ever actually really count her as best girl.
Yeah,
So like
I agree
so
with
like
that.
from secondary characters, like, yeah, no, I you want to surround yourself in a universe that isn't necessarily homely and familiar to you.
Yeah, like you want to
You
be
definitely,
immersed in a fantasy world or a fictional world, I
yeah,
should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to surround yourself with shit people with shit tier characters.
Yeah.
You're gonna roll with the best girl and the best boy and
Yeah.
the sweetest doggo,
Yes. Or the adorable Cato.
the cato with the most asterisk anus.
Yeah. That shoves it in your face all the time and you're like, "Stop it. It's adorable, but stop."
Notice me.
Look at my butthole. Look at it. Look at it. Now clean my litter box, slave.
But I could actually explain Vanellope von Schweet.
That is the Kingdom
The
Hearts character you were telling me about, right?
no the
Metal Gear.
the Disney princess.
Oh, okay, okay, right, right, right,
My
right, right.
best girl Disney princess. So when I played Final Fantasy 11, I always played a race called a Taru Taru. Taru.
I don't know much about. Is it like? Are they like
The
the
short
the short
gnome,
race? Yeah, I've sseen them. Okay.
the short gnome like race. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean outside of the pointy ear,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Vanellope reminded me of a lot of the Taru females that were NPCs that were in the game. So
You like
like
them little shorties. You like them little shorties.
somewhat, yeah.
That's cute, man.
So I was like, so she's a Taru, and that means she could be like 80 because they live to be like 300. They're like
She's your 300-year-old gothy Lolita immortal princess, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
Screw what John Lester has to say about it.
Lick me. So then like okay, so like do you have like I'm trying to see like I'm because like I'm just kind of curious. Do you have like because we did like best girl for you for like Kingdom Hearts? Do you have a best boy for Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, but that's everybody's best boy.
Uh, it's
Yeah.
not like Sora, right?
Well, I mean, no, Sora's the main protagonist. We can't really
Right.
use
Okay.
him.
Okay.
He's
It's
supposed he's supposed to be the best boy, but he's dumber than shit.
it's not Roxas, right? Because I don't like Roxas either.
Oh,
Is it Roxas?
you did not play any of the ancillary games.
I'm just in general not a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I mean, like I
Okay,
said,
you're not a big Kingdom Hearts fan, so if you only played Kingdom Hearts 2,
I've only played 1 and 2.
so you've only played 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and you were expecting when you played 2 to be playing Sora, and you spent the first 3 hours playing Roxas because the game didn't do a good job of telling you how to get out of that tutorial.
I mean, I got out of it eventually, but I do remember it being arduous and obnoxious.
It was arduous and obnoxious. It took most people 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Their first go around.
Yeah.
So that's the only experience anybody's got. So that was the most experience people had with Roxas, outside of kicking his ass in the boss fight,
Sure.
where
So
you
why
end up having to cheese it.
so why is Roxas best boy then?
Roxas is as Sora's nobody. Roxas has like all the best anti characteristics of Sora.
Okay.
So where Sora's kind of a dopey, kind of happy-go-lucky, uh, just empty vessel for you to uh, insert yourself in as.
Okay. Roxas
Roxas,
is actually like a character.
Roxas is an actual character. Also, in Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah.
there's the boss rush at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where you get like party members to help you. That isn't Donald and Goofy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the boss fight. There's the boss rush fight against Syx and I believe that also has Lushu. So
Okay.
it gets you're fighting originally with Lee or Axel and Kyrie, and then halfway through the game stops
Is
to
Kyrie
do
like a
like
bad guy in Kingdom Hearts 3?
no Kyrie's just a useless character.
All right, man.
She wants to try to keep you safe, but she fails miserably. Um,
Sure. Sure.
but in the middle of the game, you basically get uh, you go from Kyrie Axel to Shion and Roxas.
Okay.
And here's the funny thing: you can just sit back and just go into like selfie taking mode and watch Roxas just
Bruh.
pants Syx. Like
So
you could do nothing in the fight, and Syx and Roxas will take Syx all the way down to final hit. You have to actually hit him with a combo. You actually have to finish him with a combo. But you
mhm.
can just Roxas just tear into like a boss all by like an NPC character just tear into him, and
So
you
his
just look.
combat ability makes him best boy to you.
Oh, he's easiest. He's easily the best Keyblade warrior,
Okay. All right.
and so not even particularly close.
Huh.
Sora can dual wield only because he carries Roxas's heart,
Hmm.
or he shares a heart with Roxas.
Hmm. I thought Roxas doesn't have a heart. That's the whole point of being a nobody.
Eh, that's
Oh,
one of
I'm
those
sorry.
things
I'm
that
sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot that the story doesn't make sense. My bad. I'm sorry.
yeah,
That's my
that's
bad.
that's one of those things that even Nomura's not 100% clear on.
All
But yeah,
right.
so yeah, no, best boy is obviously like 100% Roxas.
Hmm. All right.
With Riku being with boy Riku being a close number 2.
Um, I usually like when it comes to like best boys, like I always like the best boys that are like I don't know, they're always like really good friends to the main character, and like when the main character is like having a super shitty time, like they always know like exactly what's up and they know what to say and they know like I recently watched a anime that was recommended me to by Mr. Ashed. I watched an anime that was recommended to me by Ashed, and shout out to Mr. Ashed. I know he's listening. And it was really good. I was actually really surprised with how good and fun it was. He recommended me an anime called MM, and they had a character in it that was a dude. He was the best friend of the main character in the anime. And the whole thing was that he was this super like stylish, like sexy, like heartthrob character. Like he was always wearing like his shirt was always, the buttons were always open, so you could always see his chest. And like he had really stylized hair, and like they kind of established that there were a few ladies that were super into him, and he was always sexy and suave. But what made him amazing was he was a cross dresser. He was a drag queen. It was great. And the whole thing was
Makes it better.
well, like it's the thing is he would dress up like as a woman and he looked so sexy. And that was like the whole thing. So he was like a sexy man that women fawned over. He was the best friend of the main character. So he was he was a sexy man. Women fawned over him. He was a drag queen and he looked amazing when he dressed in drag, and like men were attracted to him when he would pretend to be a woman. And on top of that, he was like a genuinely like amazing friend to the main character. Like he was always there in his time of need. He was always helping him out. and like he always had like the right thing to say, and like he always knew how to back up his best friend and help him out, and just be a good dude, and like he was a smart guy. And I was like, oh man, this guy, he's best boy. He's best boy. Like, and he's like, I don't know. I always love stuff like that. I like whenever an anime can present to me like a male character that like, you know, is genuinely interesting and like supports the main character, and like, and I all you know, props if the dude is like sexy too, like if he's just like all the women fawn over him, like, because I mean it's pretty stereotypical in anime, like for all the women to just magically be in love with the main character, right? Like that's pretty normal. That's like, you know, you always got to have the main character be the center of attention for all the women, because that's what like a lot of anime goers want to see. They want to be like, oh, I'm the main character, so all the women fawn over the main character, which is like, that's supposed to be me. So like whenever they have like a side character who's like the best friend, but he's like also super sexy and super suave, and he's like yeah, but I'm also like this amazing friend, like that gets me, that's props. That's props, man. Like that's some best boy tier action right there. That's what I'm all about. So thank you, Ashed, for recommending me that amazing anime. It was hilarious, and I loved all the characters in it. It was great. But yeah, like I love me some best boy action, and it's rare. Like I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare. Like I can't like say like every anime I've ever watched has a best boy. Like it's very rare, and it's usually a lot of the time when it's like animes or where it's like a group of characters, like a group of friends, and not just a goddamn harem. Like you can get a lot more credit from me with harem animes when your harem is not just like a bunch of women. Like I like it when it's like a group of friends and it's like three ladies and like the main character and like maybe another dude, or sometimes even two dudes. Like that's rare, but like, you know, if you can get like two guys in there that are like, and they're all really good friends and they're all close and like they take care of each other, cuz I like wholesome stuff. Like I don't know how you feel, but I love wholesome stuff. Like if you can show me an episode of like a romance anime or a harem anime or whatever, and they have like one episode where it's centered around the guy characters just being super good friends to each other. Like we don't need like all the fan service or like, you know, the sexiness or like the ladies fawning over the main character. If you can every once in a while just give me one episode where it's just a bunch of friends, like a couple of guys just duding out and just chilling and supporting each other and being genuinely good friends to each other. Man, I love that shit.
You should
I
play Final Fantasy 15.
Isn't that like literally about a bunch of dudes like traveling across the country in a car together?
Yeah, to get the one dude laid.
Is that what it's is that really what that's about? That's amazing.
That's a very crass oversimplification, but yeah, it's three dudes who are the best friends to the prince
Yeah.
traveling with the prince so that he can meet his betrothed and get married. So yeah, it's four dudes on a road trip to get the one dude laid.
I you know, like I mean, I can kind of get down on stuff like that. Like I mean, I genuinely love stories about like good friends. And like sometimes like when an anime is like about like the main character being surrounded by ladies, which does happen a lot, like sometimes there are episodes where it's like you get a chance to see the girls even just being like good friends with the main character. Like anytime that I see like a moment of like like in a story like that where it's genuinely just like real friendship, like real legitimate friendship, like it's not about like how attractive they are, or it's not about how they're fawning over each other, or you know, romance. It's like they have a moment where like they are genuinely like concerned about each other because they are close as friends. Like
Yeah,
I love that stuff, man.
they share together their no homo moment, and then
Yeah.
one of them goes, "Why not homo?" And then the other one goes, yes, let's homo.
Do they actually have gay relations in that game?
No, not really.
Oh,
But
I'm
but
a little.
really, but really, they probably should have.
Yeah. When do they get into the hot tub together and then start having like naked foot massages? When does that happen?
Probably some one of the DLCs.
That's kind of hot, man. I'm kind of down for that.
I just
uh,
like I put this in your Discord earlier, but I just linked you to a Final Fantasy 15 in a nutshell that uh,
I
does
saw
the
that on the
comedic.
Discord. I haven't watched it
Yeah,
yet though, but I will watch it. I will actually
yeah,
watch it now that you gave me a synopsis of how
yeah,
amazing that sounds. I'm kind of down
yeah.
to give it a good
It's
watch.
yeah. So you should watch it.
I'm down. I'm down
Why
for
not?
some. I'm down for some no homo, but kind of homo, but no homo action. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of what I'm all about. I'm down for that.
No homo. Why no homo? You're right. We should homo. Yes. All the homo.
Homo, but no homo. It's okay. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's totally normal. It's just bros being bros. It's just
Yeah.
bros. Just bros sitting together in a hot tub, butt naked, giving each other foot massages. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what bros do, man. That's what bros do. Oh my god. So I mean, do you have any other I mean, I could talk a little bit. I mean, I have like everybody knows like I have my couple of waifus. I have my waifu Rem. Rem is kind of like my favorite anime girl of all time. But she's been rivaled by a character that I got really interested in recently called Tarte, um, from another series that I started keeping up with. Um, and then I have like my dragon waifu, Palladium Moors, but that's kind of more ingrained into my childhood, more so than like as a teenager, a sexually confused teenager. Um, that's like what gives me my supposed quote unquote scaly status, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
I mean, you claimed this one. You claimed that one yourself.
I mean, it was kind of like a realization. Like I mean, like I was like, "Oh my god, this is like ingrained into my childhood." It is kind of weird, isn't it? Like, but like at the same time, it's once again one of those things where it's like I don't know. Like I'll be honest. Like I mean, if I saw like a dragon and somebody was like, "Dude, that dragon, that's a lady dragon," it's like I don't think I'm gonna
Bruh.
that. Like I don't think that's I don't think that's priority numero uno right now. um but yeah, I mean, I don't know, like a lot of the time for me, like, and I mean, we've mentioned this multiple times already. Waifus don't really come from like a sexual energy kind of thing for me. Um it's just about like how interesting the character is. Like, I mean, I
Right.
mentioned
Right.
yeah. Like
But I
cuz I
mean, because waifu is just Japanese stolen word for wife.
yeah, which is
So
what you
like,
were talking about, which is the marry concept.
yeah, it's the Mary. It's definitely the Mary concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this isn't a woman. Like yes, you probably one of the things you end up sharing with her in your relationship is that sexual connection, but there's other things there too.
Mhm. Yeah, there's just a few ladies like from animes that really stand out to me. But a lot of the time it's because I think that they're interesting. Like it's more of like the way that they're written or like how they act. Like for example, because like I mean I've watched my fair share of harems, right? And a lot of the time, the majority of harem animes are the ladies are cardboard cutouts. Like they just want to really present to you the idea that that sexual fantasy of like I'm a singular guy and all the women want a piece of me, you know? And I mean I get that. I get that concept, but if you really want to sell me on like, a lady, a female character in a story, Like, and I mean, I can even think of, like, I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I mentioned Adira Strongheart. Like, Adira Strongheart is a character from a trilogy of magic novels. She's one of the main characters, and the thing is that makes her so amazing, because I mean, there is some sexual stuff that happens in that trilogy, by the way, involving Adira. There's actually a couple of really, like, let me tell you guys, for anybody who's into magic novels, um the old school magic novels, some of them got really risque. Like, there's some sexy stuff that happens with Adira Strongheart in the old magic trilogy. um she has sex with a god in one of the books. It's pretty impressive stuff, and it's whew, it's some hot stuff. Dead serious magic novel, dude. Like, that shit happens in a magic novel. Um, but ignoring that, she's genuinely really cool. Like, I mean, she's a badass. First of all, she's the queen of pirates, and she's just she has like a wide range of emotions. She's driven by her goals and pursuits, and she just has really fascinating interactions with her, like, things that happen around her. She's intelligent. Like, they explain to you, like, her thought process as she comes up with plans. Like, sometimes she gets lost in her emotions and she makes bad decisions, which they've done. um she cares about, like, multiple different characters that are killed throughout the series. Like, there's a lot of people that die in those books, and some of them are closer to her than others. Like, some of them she feels really bad about, and some of them she's just like, well, you got sloppy. And, like, she feels like a human being, and, like, that's what I want to see. Like, the same thing that I can, like, and I mean, there's even characters in like other novels that I've read, not just like magic novels. Like, I mean, the main lead female in Shogun is hardcore waifu material. Like, holy shit, that woman is unbelievable. What was her name again? Oh my god, I feel terrible that I can't remember her name. Toda Mariko, that's right, Mariko. Okay, the main lady, like the main female character in Shogun, was named Toda Mariko, and that woman is just mind-blowingly hot. Like, she's like, they explain multiple times that she's extremely attractive, but she's also unbelievably hyper intelligent. Like, absolutely just one of the most intelligent characters in the entire book series. And there's actually a lot of smart characters in that book. Um, but Mariko is just a stunning character, just absolutely unbelievably amazing. And, like, I mean, and they do such an amazing job. Like, there's no pictures, like, there in the Shogun books. I mean, I know that there's a Shogun movie series or something like that, which I've never seen. But I mean, if I can pick up like a novel like the Magic trilogy, which has Adira Strongheart, or if I pick up Shogun, which has Toda Mariko, and I can just be absolutely blown away by how unbelievably fascinating that these female characters are. Like, they're strong, they're intelligent, like, they have a lot to say, they have a lot to do, they have goals, aspirations. Like, they're sometimes emotionally driven, sometimes they're logically driven. Like, you feel their pain when they're in pain, and you feel how happy they are when they're happy. And, like, that's what it's about. It's not necessarily about, like, obviously, like, Adira was explained to be extremely attractive, and so was Mariko, but, like, you never see that. Like, it's just briefly explained, and then once like, once you have an image in your head of what they're supposed to look like, that's it. And then all you get from there on out is exposition and dialogue about what they do, how they act, who they are, and that's what really drives that waifu concept. Like, the idea of like they're believable. Like you can, you want to see more people actually be like that. And it's I kind of lost track of my point, but it's the idea of just being deeply fascinated by a character because of who they are, not necessarily what they look like. And I mean,
Yeah.
being hot helps.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. Was there anything you wanted to add? Because I think we should probably wrap
Yeah,
this
no,
one up.
no. Like this was a good talk.
Yeah, man.
Uh, if you have any other questions about like any series where I might have like an opinion on Best Girl, always feel free to ask.
What do you think out of all the Final Fantasy games that you've played is your favorite lady?
Favorite lady in all the Final Fantasy games?
Sure. It's okay if you
Um,
can't, like, if it's too difficult. I can understand because there's a lot of very nice ladies in the Final Fantasy
Professor
series.
Quistis.
What game is that?
8.
Oh, I've never played 8. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to spell that. All right, let me see.
Quistis.
I want to hope that I could just type in professor and they know who I'm talking about.
No, it's Quistis. Quistis.
Okay. All right, let's get some pictures going here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, she's a hot librarian.
Yeah, she's the teacher at the beginning of the game. Uh, she teaches. She's a blue mage,
Mm-hmm.
so she steals your
So
abilities.
yeah, monster magic and stuff like that, right?
Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm kind of down. I like me some hot librarian action. All right, all right.
She
Yeah,
has
man.
her own. She has her own fan club.
She uses a whip?
Yeah.
That's hot. Hell
Yep.
yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. She. Final Fantasy VIII has a very underrated story.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I
Um,
know that people who like the game really, really like the game. That's the one that has like Leon in it, right?
Leon, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Squall Leon, yeah.
I've never played Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know anything about it at all. I know that there's like a famous ballroom scene in it or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. All right. I don't think I have a favorite Final Fantasy character. I always really liked the main female protagonist in 6. I thought she was really kind of interesting. Like I like the idea that I mean, not necessarily that because she wasn't the most compelling character of all time, but I liked the whole thing of like I think a lot of it is driven by the plot itself, which is the idea that magic is like unusual in Final Fantasy 6 and she's like one of the only characters that can use magic. Like I always thought that was really kind of interesting about her, but I don't know. I also like the pink-haired girl in the Tactics Advanced. I can't remember her name right now.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the characters in
She was kind
Tactics
of
Advance.
Yeah, she was kind of like a tsundere character. Like she was always like, "I like you, but I don't really like you, but I kind of like you, but like I'll never let you know because I hate you, even though I like you." like, um, but I don't know. I thought she was really cute, so that's a character that I remember. I just don't remember her name because I'm terrible with names. That's who I am. I'm a person who's really bad with names, which is why I can't remember all the ladies that I like, except for the ones that really really stand out to me. But anyways, I think that's gonna be it, buddy. I think we're gonna wrap this one up.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
So you're gonna say all those wonderful things you say, my
I
man?
am. I am going to say all those wonderful things that I say, which is like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and check in the description below for all the wonderful links, such as PayPal and Streamlabs. And also, wonderful shout out to the amazing, amazing Patreon members, which include Bo Falcon, Fajuk Enterprises, James P., the lovely Miss Rebecca, as well as Scorpiogeist. You guys are greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, you should think about ring-a-dinging that bell so that you can always know when these podcasts are going to come out or when I'm going to stream. It's a good idea. Also, one thing that I haven't plugged in quite some time, I always put in the description below of the Imaginary Boys podcasts Lettuce's YouTube page. So if you're curious about Mr. Lettuce himself, go down to that link and click on it and check it out. And also check out the... Huh?
I may or may not make content sometime.
Yeah, sometimes on a rare blue moon, he decides to do something. Uh, also, check out the Teespring merch. We do have Imaginary Boys Teespring merch, so go and check that out if you want to check it out. There's also other wonderful merch designs. And I think that's pretty much it. So I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I'm pretty sure I'm not. So I guess the last thing to say is thank you for being here, and we have been the Imaginary Boys. Go get yourself some fictional